Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Very fine. Good morning, and thank you for having me back again.
It is
My
good
pleasure.
it is really good to have you here. A lot of things you've been doing. Among them has been this whole issue of getting the public to understand the need for some amendments or some authorizations for the PCA to carry out their work. So you've been meeting with different communities. I had the pleasure of being at one of your meetings where you sought to explain the function of the PCA, give the citizenry that level of comfort as to how they can speak to you and a clearer understanding as to what is the PCA. For those who have not been privy to those Meet the People, to those who have not been privy to our prior conversations, synopsisize what is the function of the PCA, the Police Complaints Authority, please.
Okay. In short, the PCA, Police Complaints Authority, is comprised of a director and a deputy director, which makes up the Police Complaints Authority. Mm-hmm. The functions of the PCA are basically to investigate criminal offenses involving police officers, police corruption, and serious police misconduct. We also audit police investigations. We gather evidence that can be used for serious police misconduct and police corruption to give to the Commissioner of Police. We also gather evidence that can be used in criminal offenses that can be given to the Director of Public Prosecutions. We also advise the police and also public bodies about matters involving police. So it's a wide function of that we do.
Monitor, intermediary, and public redress.
Yes.
And that is essentially what I think I extrapolate from what you've said there. The fact is, if you want something in between to see what's happening, you have to go to the PCA. We will talk about how you do that in a moment, but there is some confusion between the functions of the PCA and the PSB. PSB, I believe, is the Professional Standards Bureau?
That is correct.
All right, and you are the Police Complaints Authority. Differentiate between them for us, please.
Sure. Well, the PSB, the Professional Standards Bureau, is a unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The PCA is an independent body established by Parliament for civilian oversight of police activities. There are no police officers in the PCA as compared with the PSB, which is made up of police officers. So when the 2006 Act was being debated in Parliament, what the government and opposition both agreed on was that you cannot have police investigating police. So what they came up with was a system or body as the PCA, where you had independent persons, civilian persons, investigating police officers. So basically speaking, we are a civilian oversight body, and the PSB are police officers, investigating police officers.
Director David West, head of the PCA, is my guest this morning. We have differentiated between both of them. Let us talk about the cooperation that you have been receiving from the public. Of course, there is no way to properly measure this. However, I'm sure you can see some appreciation between when you started and where we are now as far as the public coming to the PCA, finding it as their recourse, as it were, area of redress.
Well, that is correct. And we have over 1,290 odd complaints, active investigations within the PCA. Last year, 2014, 2015, we had 352 complaints. This year, last calendar year, we had from 2015, 2016, we had 358 complaints. So they're more or less remaining around the 350 odd number of complaints. We have sent from last year, 2014 to now, 2016, we have sent 17 matters to the Director of Public Prosecutions where we believe that a criminal offense has taken place after our investigation. We have sent to the Commissioner of Police 70 matters that where we believe serious police misconduct or police corruption has taken place. And we have closed over 478 matters. Now, when we close a matter, it is either because the complainant wishes to discontinue or that there is no evidence found against the police officer. So the argument used by some officers that the PCA is just a witch hunt out to get them is incorrect, because you can see by the figures that we have closed 478 matters.
Yes.
So we take a very independent approach. It is finding truth, ensuring justice.
Well, truth be told, from looking at my understanding of what you folks are trying to do, you could be the police officer's best friend.
Exactly.
Because
our ultimate goal is to bring the police into a bright light so the public can trust the police once again.
And in order for the public to trust the police, we have to dispel either inaction or thwarting allegations without corroboration. We have to deal with that, and the only way you can deal with that is to get public participation. The public participation, one of the areas there, Director David West is my guest, one of the areas here is folks are concerned about, if I call into the PCA, how am I sure that my information is not passed on to a police officer, which is one of the charges they hear. How am I sure that the information I'm passing, giving to them is not leaked somewhere? In other words, what about my safety? Should I really go ahead and do this?
Well, yes, you can. And I can tell you that under Section 21(4) of our Act, it says that, any information and evidence obtained by the PCA in the performance of its function under this Act is confidential. So when a complainant comes into the PCA and gives evidence or information about a police officer, we have to remain confidential. Otherwise, we can be in a lot of trouble.
Right.
Okay?
Violation of the Act itself.
Yes, exactly. So we do not want to do that.
All right. So folks who, in fact, of course, the office is going to guard that aspect of the office is going to guard the confidentiality here. But folks, as you understand, because there is suspicion as to all many bodies in the country, folks are worried about, if I give my information, it stays there. And what if I had to follow through? For instance, if the PCA said to me, okay, we see your allegations, we see so and so, I need you to come in and testify. Folks are concerned about that.
Right. Well, what happens is that people can come in and testify, and because we have what we have video evidence. We are one of the first bodies to have video recording evidence, where you have the actual camera on you and you're actually speaking into the microphone and recording your evidence. I know some of the complainants feel want anonymity, because they are frightened that the police will find out and have negative things may or may not happen to them. But what we are trying to do, and part of our amendments and part of our drive in Sangre Grande, this coming Friday, is that we have been meeting with the CPC's department of the Ministry of the Attorney General, and we have got to the stage now where the amendment to the Justice Protection Act, where the PCA will become a authorized body or approved authority, so we can then make recommendations to the Justice Protection Authority that listen, this complainant has a serious matter. Can you take him into witness protection program? Before, what used to happen is that we used to ask informally to try to get somebody in, and that may or may not happen. But now we can directly, with the amendment, we can directly approach the witness protection program to take in that complainant.
Which is really important. David West, let's go into the reason you're reaching out in Sangre Grande this week. Just before I touch that outreach into Sangre Grande, I understand you have an application that is going to be very useful for the public and very helpful to you pursuing your mandate. Tell us about that application that's going to be launched.
Yes, well, the IT department and the authority have decided to launch a PCA app, which can be applied to any Samsung or iPhone, where you can download it. It'll be free of charge, where you'll be able to download it, and you'll be able to write in a complaint. If you see anything happening on the street regarding a police officer, you can take a video of it, attach that video of it, and send it to the PCA, and we would have persons who would receive that, and we can dispatch our investigations team post haste to where that matter is happening. So we're bringing technology to the forefront of the PCA. So everybody in Trinidad and Tobago will be working for us, because then that is we can get complaints in from them, and we can act on those complaints.
Let me see if I can reshape that. Everybody in Trinidad and Tobago will be working for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago, because you were working for Trinidad and Tobago.
Exactly.
Right? So everyone will be working for themselves. If you see something with this application, they can attach it and send it to you.
That is correct.
How soon is this going to be available?
Well, we are now looking at finalizing the contract.
Okay.
The provider said it'll take about 2 to 3 months to actually put it together. So I would hopefully say by about in April, May, June, maybe July, August.
July, August. I've been strong with the PCA because there is nothing more that can ensure real justice, but an independent body to look after complaints of allegations of corruption and so on, to keep our real working men and women, who are about 99% of the protective service, doing their job, absent the 1% who may stray, to be as gentle as I can.
Yes.
So I'm confident of what the importance of the PCA is, and we keep asking everybody to get involved, learn more about the PCA, get in touch with them. You see something, say something. Don't stay in your corner and keep complaining about it. That's the reason they are there, to look into the complaint, to get in touch with them. Before we go to Sangre Grande, how can folks get in touch with the PCA right now?
We have you can email www.pca.org.tt. You can phone in to the Police Complaints Authority. And the best thing is to go to the webpage and send in a complaint, and we will get it.
All right.
We are very online, and we are up to date with all the technology.
You can Google Police Complaints Authority, and that will put you there.
That's correct.
Let's talk about Sangre Grande. You're going to Sangre Grande. Tell us, what is the intent there?
Well, before we go there, I just want to let you know that there was a case out of the Netherlands, out of the European Court of Human Rights, Ramsahai versus the Netherlands in 1999, where it reinforces why we need an independent body, where the judges said, for an investigation into alleged unlawful killing by state agents to be effective, the persons responsible for and carrying out the investigation must be independent and impartial in law and in practice. So let me just repeat that, because those words, to me, give me the validity to be who I am and what I am doing at the PCA. For an investigation into alleged unlawful killing by state agents to be effective, the persons responsible for and carrying out the investigation must be independent and impartial in law and in practice.
Yes. You'll have the concurrence of every observer, because understanding the independence, the separation of the investigative agency from the bodies investigating is imperative. It's a prereq.
Exactly.
Understood.
And so why Sangre Grande? Well, we're going on to the 7th of April in Sangre Grande at 6:30 at the Northeastern Community Center, Sangre Grande. We will be there. I will be there along with the deputy director, along with our attorneys and our investigators. So if anybody has a complaint, we can take the complaint. But I will be discussing the roles and functions of the PCA, our amendments, the new app, and other things relating to the PCA. We will, of course, invite questions, because it's really a conversation with the people of Sangre Grande. We want them to come in and be comfortable and feel free to talk to us about whatever issues they're having. Because Sangre Grande falls in what we call is part of the Eastern Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Okay? And in Sangre Grande, well, the Eastern Divisions, in 2014, 2015, we had 28 complaints. And in 2015-16, we had 30 complaints. So the Eastern Division, Sangre Grande, produce quite a large number of complaints to us. So we want to go to them now and hear what they have to say. And even people can come there to see what's happening with their matters, because our investigators who do Sangre Grande matters will be there also. So that is why we want to go to Sangre Grande, to educate and enlighten the population across up there, because we have never been to Sangre Grande before, and I'm quite looking forward to Sangre Grande. A long time I told our communications department that I wanted to go to Sangre Grande,
right?
Because I saw and I've seen a lot of complaints coming out of the Sangre Grande area, and you get the same names of persons popping up over and over again. So I want to go there and show them that we understand, we hear you, and we want to help you.
The level of public participation is going to be the level of success of the PCA. And that's
Exactly.
why it's necessary to reach out to them. Final question for you, Director David West, in our tight conversation this morning, because, you and I can sit here for 2 hours easily. There are a lot to be covered there. But the final area of this is the issue of prosecutorial power. I know you have been pursuing this for a long time, advocating for this, because it means not only would you be independent, but you can initiate every aspect of the remedy from one place. What is happening with that?
Well, right now, what is happening is that we're working along with the Director of Public Prosecutions in bringing matters that we think should be, that a prima facie case has been found during the investigation that a criminal matter or criminal offense has taken place.
Mm-hmm.
So in a recent matter, the DPP and ourselves collaborated very well, and the certain officer was brought before the court within a relatively quick period.
Mm-hmm.
And we're very happy for that. We are looking at, there is a common law power to prosecute, okay? Besides the statutory power, there is a common law power.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at, with that along with the DPP, we are talking on how we can try to use the common law to prosecute matters. Okay,
right.
so that's what we're doing.
All
But
right.
before we go, I know a question has come up. A lot of times people go to the police station and they make a complaint, and sometimes the police say they don't have the paper. They don't. You can't go to another station because it was happening in Woodbrook, but go somewhere else. Let me just tell everybody that there is a departmental order number 139 that says that no matter wherever you have a complaint, you can go in and make a complaint and get a receipt from the police, from the station. All right, you have to. The police, by this departmental order, are asked to treat the public with respect, dignity, and respect. The police are asked to ensure that when all reports are made by telephone or in person are accurately and immediately recorded in the station diary or the relevant prescribed forms. They ensure that when a report is made which concerns another police station or district in the charge room sentry records the report in the station diary and takes prompt action where necessary. Advises the informant of the station under whose jurisdiction the report falls that the report will be transmitted to the station concerned and that any further information or communication should be made to that station. And the officer transmits a message stating the facts recorded and action taken, if any, to the second division officer in charge of that station concerned.
Now, let me see if I get that right. I go across to Belmont. Belmont said, listen, we don't have the necessary thing. I say, okay, I'm going down to Woodbrook. I go down to Woodbrook and I make the report. Is that what we say? And and this information should be recorded and so on.
In the station diary, yes.
So if I get...
And then that report from Woodbrook is then transmitted to Belmont.
Good. I just wanted to be sure of that. So in case of our listeners think that they're getting the runaround when they go to one station, know that you can go to another station. That information will be transmitted back from that station you went to the original station.
Yes, that is correct.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you. David West, Director of the PCA. Again, it is always a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure being here, and I wish we had more time because there's a lot of we can talk about.
Well, the next thing we're going to do, and I'm looking across at the producer on my left-hand side here, we're going to make sure we have another hour laid out for you the next time. Because you and I, there are just so many areas of enlightenment that you bring. And I know we are all the better for it. We will ensure in short order, probably right after you finish your Sangre Grande situation, that we get back together for an hour and we detail some of these areas.
Yes.
Great to see you this morning as always.
Thank
you have
you very
yourself a
much.
wonderful day.